The movie kicks off in 1835 Spain, right after the First Carlist War has left everything in ruins. A group of soldiers stops a passing carriage, pulls out the passengers, and finds the vehicle packed with stolen goods. The village governor shows up, lines the captives against a wall, and orders their execution. A priest is called in to say a quick prayer. Then the soldiers open fire and kill them all. As the soldiers leave, one man, Panchi, suddenly stands up alive. He picks off the soldiers one by one. The priest looks at him and sees something evil, like the devil himself, and gets killed too. Finally, Panchi brutally takes down the governor and finishes his revenge. 8 years later, the village is in even worse shape, but people are still hanging on. A government official named Alfredo arrives and checks into the local inn. He asks the owner about Panchi. The villagers warn him that Panchi's house is a place of pure evil, and going there means you won't come back. Panchi has been living quietly as the village blacksmith ever since he killed the soldiers. The innkeeper lets him rent a room. Undeterred by the warnings, Alfredo sets out the next morning and arrives at Panchi's eerie house, the entrance lined with pointed iron spikes. We see Panchi at work heating a metal spike until his hammer cracks from the force. Meanwhile, little orphan Yuju is in the forest, happily playing with her rag doll. Two mean boys corner her and taunt that her mother took her own life and is suffering in hell. Furious, Yuju lashes out, punches them, and bolts away. She winds up at Panchi's gate. The boys chase after her, tear the doll's head off, and hurl it over the fence. Yuju gathers the pieces and returns to the church, her home. The other children spot the broken doll and mock her, but she says nothing. The following morning, the innkeeper's son slips into Alfredo's room, grabs his travel bag, and passes it to his older sibling. At the inn, everyone pores over Alfredo's bag and discovers a document. He's here on official business to claim a treasure supposedly in Panchi's possession. The word treasure hits like a spark in dry grass, eyes gleam with greed. Alfredo bursts in, grabs the paper, and snaps that one word to the authorities would land them all in chains. They grovel, apologize, and pledge to join the hunt. A grizzled local urges them to drop it. Weird sounds leak from Panchi's house after dark. No one listens. Dawn breaks and Alfredo marches 3 men to the gate. He plants himself outside and barks orders, "Go in, get Panchi." The trio calls out. A low voice from within tells them to turn back. They push forward. The door flies open. Panchi explodes out. 2 sprint away in terror. The third triggers a trap. A spiked clamp snaps shut on his ankle, pinning him fast with no way out. Panchi finishes the trapped villager with cold efficiency, then hauls the body inside. Hideous, wet, crunching noises leak from the house. Yuju sneaks in to find her doll's head. Wandering deeper, she spots a small boy locked in a cage, pleading to be let out. She pries it open. The boy's skin splits, horns sprout, he becomes Surtiel, a snarling demon. Trident raised, he lunges for her. Panchi bursts in, parries the strike. Surtiel grabs Yuju and sprints for the door, but a floor trap snaps shut on his leg. He topples, dropping the girl. Panchi slices off one of Surtiel's horns. Yuju blacks out. Benito, the innkeeper's son, reaches the gate hunting for Yuju. He sees the doll, then glimpses Panchi dragging the unconscious girl and the bleeding demon indoors. Terrified, Benito runs home and sounds the alarm. Alfredo organizes a rescue. The whole village arms up and marches. Yuju comes to inside a barred room. Surtiel is now chained in a reinforced cage across from her. Panchi has been torturing the creature to keep it contained and harmless. The demon recoils from a nearby cross and spits at Panchi. "Your soul is coming to hell with me." Surtiel keeps taunting Panchi, reminding him of their bargain. Years ago, Panchi struck a deal one last meeting with his dying wife in exchange for his soul. That's why he rose from the firing squad. Surtiel pulled him back and claimed ownership. Yuju hears every word and trembles. Panchi notices blood on her ankle, scoops her up, and carries her to the cage. He teaches her 2 tricks. Demons weaken at the sound of bells, and they're compelled to count any seed spilled in front of them. Yuju stares at Surtiel and whispers, "Can you bring my mother back from hell?" The demon laughs. "Once a soul's down there, it burns forever. No return ticket." Panchi tells her to go home. He walks her to the gate, just in time to see torches and pitchforks. The villagers charge, convinced he kidnapped the girl. Fists and clubs rain down on him. Then the priest steps forward. With a bombshell no one expected, Yuju is Panchi's daughter. While Panchi was away fighting for 2 full years, his wife believed him dead and remarried. By the time he came home, she had a new husband and a baby girl. Panchi can't stomach the truth. His wife, remarried, a daughter that isn't his. It all burns worse than any battlefield. He grabs the infant and marches toward the roaring hearth. The baby's cries mix with the crackle of wood. Half her tiny face sears black before the new husband bursts through the door and snatches her from the flames. One swing of Panchi's blade ends the man. A week later, the wife knots a rope around her neck. Only then does regret crash over Panchi. He wraps the scarred, mute child in a blanket, carries her to the church steps, leaves the bell he forged beside her, and walks away. Years later, greed drags Alfredo and his crew past the spiked gate. They stop dead. A live demon snarls inside an iron cage. The men outside shout the news to the mob. Inside, Alfredo straps Panchi to a chair and works him over, demanding the treasure's location. Hidden in the shadows, Yuju watches, silent. From the cage, Surtiel croaks, "Free me, and the gold is yours." Alfredo steps close, murmurs the demon's secret name. Surtiel's eyes widen. "No human should know that." Alfredo grins. "I'm not human. I rule hell. You traded for Panchi's soul and broke my law. I've come to settle the debt." Alfredo strips Surtiel of his title and condemns him to 5,000 years stewing in boiling pools. The demon grovels, but Alfredo ignores the pleas. He came only for Panchi's soul. A noose tightens around Panchi's throat as he's hoisted off the ground. Yuju's heart races. She spots the old bell, seizes it, and clangs it with all her might. The ringing shreds Alfredo's disguise, flesh peels back, revealing the towering lord of hell. Gunfire erupts from the doorway. Bullets tear into the monster until he collapses in a heap. Yuju darts to Panchi, cuts the rope, and eases him to the floor. Sertiel whispers promises from his cage, dangling the impossible. Her mother returned from the inferno. Yuju's fingers fumble with a lock. The bars swing open. Sertiel lunges for freedom, only to slam into yet another hidden snare. The villagers rush in, surrounding the thrashing demon with fists, boots, and rifle butts. Yuju bolts to the priest, who tears into her for unlocking the cage. The words sting worse than any burn. She stumbles back to Alfredo's crumpled body and pleads to be taken where her mother waits. A careless wish seals her fate. Alfredo's eyes snap open, horns and wings unfurl, and he snatches her soul straight through the floor into the underworld. Panchi watches the light vanish from the room. He corners Sertiel, send me after her. Bell in fist, he hammers the gates of hell. The air inside is nothing but heat and screams, lost souls pitched into molten pits. He finds Yuju's spirit flickering like a candle in a furnace, wraps her in his arms, and runs. Hell's ruler lunges, dragging them backward. Yuju snatches a clay pot of dried peas and scatters them across the stone. The king drops to his knees, counting obsessively. That single heartbeat is enough. Sertiel rips Yuju free and hurls her soul back to the living world. Panchi stays. He rings the golden bell once, steps into the fire, and the gates slam shut behind him. How did the film hit you? Rate it below.